Every year there's a tradition in our area called the Walk to Washington. The Chamber of Commerce joins with their members and politicians and lobbyists, and they head down to D.C. on an Amtrak train. Well, this year, the new governor decided he wasn't going to take the train, but he met everybody in Washington. High on the agenda, guns and taxes. Ashley Johnson was on that train. Ashley, what do you got for us?
It's a mix and mingle of the who's who in New Jersey. I hopped on the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce's annual chartered Amtrak train in Trenton, headed to the nation's capital, packed with more than 900 lawmakers, CEOs, entrepreneurs, you name it. People heard from New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy in the evening.
Well, I think a lot of people are waiting to hear about his budget. I'm told he might preview that today.
Bill, two things people really wanted to hear about is how the governor plans to grow the state's economy and steps he plans to take to prevent a tragedy like Parkland, Florida. Gun reform has been a hot topic this week, in which the Assembly Judiciary Committee held a day-long public hearing Wednesday. 7 bills that would strengthen the state's gun laws were debated.
And I'm looking forward to having those laws approved so that we can move forward and let people know that we really care about them. I think we need to make sure that the schools are fully funded to have help security. We need to make sure that there are student resource officers, security resource officers in each school.
Standing alongside members of the New Jersey congressional delegation, Murphy said they discussed various projects, including the Gateway Project and property tax relief.
That's a pass-fail, extraordinarily important project, not just for New Jersey, but for New York, New Jersey, the Northeast Corridor, and I'd argue for our national security and national economic health.
Murphy asked Senator Bob Menendez to address property tax relief.
We collectively stand together against the state and local property tax deduction assault that we took, and we are looking at ways to try to bring it back.
In Trenton, I'm Ashley Johnson, reporting for Chasing News.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, let's bring back the A-plus panel, the Chamber train. Peter, start with you. I've been on it. Don't miss it. What about you?
We've both been on it. And my question is, what is their agenda? You know, if you look at the website and there's no agenda, what are they going down to Washington for, and how does that help us here in New Jersey? That's the question I have.
No, sir, let me ask you. The question, I think, is what gets accomplished when these politicians go down there? You've clearly got Phil Murphy. He's got his attorney general suing the federal government. Now you've got him talking all about gun control. And one of the big issues that he's driving is gun control. The legislature is taking up a conversation about increasing the already very onerous controls we have. What gets accomplished with a bunch of politicians and lobbyists getting drunk on a train?
I don't think anything gets accomplished when your networking involves a great deal of alcohol between New Jersey and DC, and it also requires that all people involved are actually communicating. And does that seem to be the situation when you're on a train drunk?
Tia Lynn, have you been on the train?
I have not had the pleasure of being on the train yet.
It's kind of a rite of passage in politics. I think
Yeah.
you almost have to do it once. But it does beg the question, how far is too far for this governor and his attorney general? Attorney General Grewal was touted as a friend of law enforcement, a good guy. We've seen a month of nothing but nonstop lawsuits against the federal government, against the Trump administration. What are these guys doing down there that's going to help make New Jersey more affordable?
Yeah, I think Tax You Until You Tear Murphy has a clear agenda that he's operating on, none of which seems to be centered around New Jersey and bettering New Jersey, but more towards his personal agenda.
Nusrat, just as a citizen, as someone who pays taxes and lives and works in this state, is it disappointing to see that there's so much emphasis put on the show? How does anyone tolerate the fact that they're all crammed into a train together to go party in D.C.?
Well, I don't think anyone should tolerate it. I think we all need to be careful where our tax dollars are going, as well as our money spent towards security for the legislators that are on this train. I think as someone who's paying a great deal of taxes, I like to see that going to my local schools and my local businesses.
Peter, is this the smoke-filled back room without the smoke? When I went on the train, they were still smoking and drinking openly, but is that what this is?
Let's be honest. This is nothing more than a party train for the most part. But what I would like to see is all the money that New Jerseyans send down to Washington, D.C., getting some of that money back. That should be their agenda, bringing money back to New Jersey, bringing jobs back.
Is there something off about this when people are railing against the lobbying influence of groups like the National Rifle Association, Big Pharma, et cetera, no matter what the issue is? Now you've got the chamber saying, hey, come on in. And, they're paying for it, but when you're a politician, we may be paying for some of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's an issue, and one that needs to be addressed widely. And I know that it's a factor for other states as well, but New Jersey, we're getting hit really hard at the moment.
All right, gotta leave it there. Thanks, guys.